Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Aaron Wheeler, and I want to welcome you to week 2 of the Queens College Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Now, if you'll remember, in week 1, we talked about phishing and clickbait, how to recognize it, and some tips and tricks and some tools to avoid it. Now, in week 2, we're going to be talking about privacy. A member of my staff, Luigi Ficera, will be discussing data protection and privacy and how to safeguard your digital life. Some of his topics will range from the importance of data protection all the way to maintaining privacy, specifically as college students. Now, that's obviously a little bit of an oversimplification. There'll be a lot of good tips, good tricks, a lot of good information in what he's about to present to you. So without any further ado, I'd like to present to you Lou Ficera talking about privacy. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Luigi and I'm part of the cybersecurity team in the ITS department. My role is to coordinate with my team to ensure that the campus is protected from potential cyber threats and that everyone stays safe online. I'm excited to present this week's topic, data protection and privacy safeguarding your digital life. We'll start with a brief lesson on what data is and why it's important to protect it. Then we'll talk about privacy, means of having control over who knows certain details about you, whether that's your location, what websites you've been visiting, or what personal conversations you have. It's about setting boundaries and that allow you to protect sensitive information. Next, we'll walk through the areas that you should be aware of when it comes to scam and social media awareness. We'll go over a few strategies on how to protect your data, and we'll add in a couple of essential tools you can use, and so much more. I hope you enjoy it and learn a thing or two. Next slide. So let's first understand the term data. Data is information. It comes in various forms. Your name, email addresses, photos, like I said before, the websites that you visit, and of course the apps that you use on your devices. Essentially, your data mirrors your life, what you like, where you go, and what you buy, and who you interact with. Your data is not just a series of numbers and characters. It's a digital extension of your identity, your habits, your life. Next slide. Organizations, governments, and individuals use data to make decisions, improve services, and communicate. But cyber criminals, they want it too. All that data you have, they want it especially. Sensitive data like your passwords, bank details, and personal records. So you're probably thinking, what do they do with that data? It varies. Some use it to commit fraud, steal identities, or initiate cyber attacks. They also see your data as currency, selling it on the dark web, or using it to manipulate people and systems for financial gains. It's important to protect your data because if it falls in the wrong hands, it can harm you or damage your businesses or institutions. Next slide. So, why don't we start 3 important factors that I like to call the power of 3. These are your passwords, your encryption, and 2-factor authentication. I believe that covering these 3 areas will set you on the right path to protecting your data. Your password. It's like a key to your house. It's designed to let authorized users in and keep unauthorized users out. The most common issue that leads to compromised accounts is weak passwords, such as short ones, using your name, or not even including special characters. Worst of all, especially when you're reusing the same password for multiple accounts, I guess you can say it's almost like making copies of one key and losing them. So it's best to use a mix of uppercase, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. And most importantly, creating a unique password for each and every account. But you're probably thinking, how am I supposed to remember all these passwords? The short answer, a password manager. It's a great tool to organize and store all your passwords without having to remember them all. Next slide. Encryption. Encryption is a unique tool. It makes your data unreadable to anyone who doesn't have the necessary keys to unlock it. It's a valuable feature to use in case your device gets stolen or you lose it. Despite the unfortunate event of losing your device, at least you planned ahead and encrypted your hard drive. Fortunately, depending on what hardware you own, they have built-in features you can utilize, such as Windows BitLocker or Apple's File Vault. Next slide. Two-factor authentication, it's another great extra layer of security to have for your accounts to ensure only authorized users can access the account. It not only requires your password, but adding another factor in, which is like a code sent to your phone. Having this feature makes it more challenging for the unauthorized actors to gain access. If they obtain your password, it has become so important that organizations are requiring users to implement it in order to access their accounts. Next slide. Protecting your data while surfing the web is crucial. If you overlook the small details when navigating to websites, please check the URL containing the letter S. When inputting passwords or email addresses, without the S means that unsecured, posing possibility of your data being breached. Oftentimes, we're always updating our software, OS. You know your browser needs an update? Updating your browser will help fix potential security vulnerabilities and improve performance, keeping you safer online. Next slide. Social media has become an important tool for networking with peers and professionals. Even in a college setting, it's a great way to stay updated on campus events and discover new opportunities. It also helps students stay connected with their friends and family, especially those attending school far from home. But be smart when posting content. Anything you post online, cyber criminals will look for anything that leads them to big things. Always think about what you post. Don't share your location, and always verify the user who sent you a friend request. Regularly check and adjust the privacy settings of your social media account. Limit who can see your post and personal information and profile. It's probably best recommended to set your accounts to private so that you have a better opportunity to approve followers who can view your content. Next slide. Another tactic hackers use is pretending to be students to deceive peers or university staff into sharing personal information. They may pose as classmates in online forums, social media, groups, or even phishing emails to gain trust and request sensitive details such as login credentials, assignment files, or even financial information. Also, it's best recommended that you do not use your work or school email to create social media accounts. Use a personal email address that you can control for creating social media accounts. This ensures that you maintain privacy and control over your personal information. Now, unfortunately, if you have become the next issue, we'll go on to the next slide. If you've become compromised, it's time to shift gears and start actively being on top of it. First things first, don't panic. Take deep breaths and collect your thoughts. Here's what you need to investigate. Check for unfamiliar login activities, passwords change, emails being sent from your account, and difficulty logging in. If you feel that your computer was maybe compromised, run an antivirus scan and clean it. Always back up your files in case you lose them, and change all your passwords, especially if you're reusing the same password, and always notify other parties, such as your IT department or your peers. Next slide. In reinforcing your accounts, take extra measure to change your password every 3 months. Review your social media settings when it comes to location services. Ensure it's off. Be cautious with third-party apps and avoid clicking on suspicious links. Regularly monitor your account for any unusual activity. Log out of any unknown devices to further enhance security. Next slide. Let's look at 2 different cases. They will cover the severity and the devastating loss of data breach. So for this example, in 2024, this year, Bank of America suffered a data breach where hackers gained unauthorized access through ransomware attacks to sensitive personal information stored. A total of 57,000 customers' data were affected. Data that was included names, addresses, social security numbers, birth dates, and some banking information, such as accounts of members and their credit card details were also compromised as well. Also in the same year, Ticketmaster suffered another data breach where hackers successfully gained access to Ticketmaster with over 500 user customer data, including personal details such as name, email addresses, physical addresses, and partial credit card numbers. Next slide. Students often rely on public PCs and shared network to complete coursework and communication. It's important to ensure that you're only using public PCs for school-related work. Avoid conducting personal activities such as your social media, banking, or online shopping for these machines. Make sure to clear your browser history and cookie cache to remove any personal data saved in the web browser. Alternatively, you could use incognito mode. That prevents cookies and browser history from being stored. We recommend using encrypted tunneling connection, such as VPN, to secure your internet activity. Additionally, turn off file sharing to prevent other PCs on the network from accessing your device. Avoid handling sensitive information unless you're connected to a VPN for added protection. Next slide. We often overlook the importance of protecting our personal information on campus, and even the smallest action can lead to significant risks to data and privacy. For example, many of us forget to disable Wi-Fi or often leave Auto-Connect enabled on our devices. This can lead to our devices connecting to rogue access points. Always be cautious when connecting to public Wi-Fi. It's a good practice to ask staff members on how to connect to their Wi-Fi network. Look for posted signs or check with the organization's website to ensure you're connecting to a secure network. Next slide. So students can benefit from understanding key data privacy laws that protect their personal information and grant important rights. Laws like FERPA and COPA safeguard education records and regulate online data collection. Other laws such as the CCPA and the GDPR give students control over their personal data, including the right to access, correct, or delete it. Additionally, HIPAA ensures the privacy of health-related information. By understanding these regulations, students can better protect their privacy in school, online, and health-related settings. Keep in mind that privacy settings can vary by state, so to learn more about it, specific regulations in the area that you're in, you can visit your state government's website for further information. Well, now we move on to the next slide. I want to thank everyone for tuning in this week's topic for Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Remember to always stay vigilant, maintain your privacy, and mostly protect your data. By following these strategies, you're not only helping yourself, but also contributing to a safer campus by sharing these tips with your peers. Always remember, if you have any questions, you could always reach out to any ITS staff members.